Welcome to Websphere Tools Masterclass on Websphere. What I'm going to do in this particular session is show you how to start and stop Websphere ND on Linux. I'm not going to cover Websphere installation in this particular example. That will come as a separate video clip. So we can assume that in this case there has been a Websphere cell pre-installed. We have a Websphere deployment manager, which is a particular profile, and we have an application server node profile where we will have our cluster and our app servers. So in a nutshell, we have a cell with two profiles, and in my case I'm using PuTTY as an SSH session to my virtual machine, which is running Websphere ND version 7. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I will be referring to Websphere Network Deployment version 7. So if I change directory to var apps, I can have a look. I can see that the base root install of my Websphere environment is in a folder called /var/apps/wasnd7. If I list this particular folder, we can see there is a subfolder called profiles. In this folder, which I'm going to change into, is a list of profiles that have been installed. Now, in my installation, I elected to install the profiles here, and you can see that I've called the deployment manager profile DMGR01, and the application server profile is AppServer01. So what I want to do is I want to just see what processes are currently running. So I know that Websphere is running as a Java process or set of Java processes. So therefore, by using the ps -ef, piping that to a grep -i for case and sensitivity, and then the word Java, I can see that there are several processes running on my machine, in my Linux machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first of all how to stop each component via the command line, and then we're going to restart them, and that will be my demonstration. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to go into the deployment manager profile, into the bin folder. If we do a listing of this folder, we can see that there are many scripts, or many shell scripts. If we do an ls s*.sh, we'll see that there's a few scripts there. By typing the command stop /stop manager.sh, it will automatically know to stop the deployment manager. The deployment manager essentially holds the configuration master, or I suppose configuration repository, for the entire cell. It also runs what we call the administrative console, or for short the admin console. So once we've stopped the deployment manager, I will then restart the deployment manager, and we will then have a look at what the admin console looks like. As you can see here, I've actually had a problem with stopping my deployment manager, and this is a typical problem for a brand new installation of Websphere. It is due to the fact that Websphere requires a username and password to be passed to the wsadmin script, which is running these commands underneath. And because I don't have an X Windows client running, I can't see the username and password screen. So what I can do is I can run that same command with -username as wsadmin, which is what I happen to use, and -password wsadmin. I am now telling the script the username and password. You can modify some files, which we'll cover in a separate tutorial, which will stop this from happening. It takes a while for obviously Java processes to stop, so what we can do is we can duplicate the session, and we can actually look at logs via the tail command. So I'm going to log back into this virtual machine, and if I go and have a look at my previous window, we can see that the tool is reporting to me the log name. So if I basically change directory into the deployment manager log directory and do a listing, I can see that there are some files. We have stopserver.log, which is telling us that the server has been stopped, systemout.log, which is our main log from the JVM. We have a start server log, which tells us that the server has been started, native standard error log, which is any operating system issues,